Hello and welcome to Philosophy of Mind. For centuries, the voices of ancient civilizations have whispered from the dust of history, etched in stone, inked on papyrus, woven into knots. But many of these voices have remained silent, their messages locked away in forgotten languages, defying human decipherment. Until now. Imagine a world where history isn't just written, but unwritten. Where the deepest secrets of vanished empires lie buried, not in tombs, but in whispers no human ear could ever discern. For millennia, these ancient voices were lost to us, trapped in forgotten scripts, defying every attempt to break their silence. But what if the past wasn't truly lost? What if it was just waiting for the right listener? Because today, that listener, the key to unlocking humanity's most profound mysteries, is artificial intelligence. We stand at the precipice of a new historical era, where AI isn't merely translating, it's resurrecting entire civilizations. It's unearthing secrets, revealing truths, and challenging our very understanding of history in ways we might not be ready for. From the earliest scratches on clay to the most intricate glyphs, AI is peeling back the layers of time, and what it's revealing is nothing short of astonishing. Join us as we count down 20 ancient languages and scripts that AI is decoding, and discover the profound, sometimes unsettling, truths they reveal. Get ready for a journey where the past speaks, and the future listens. Don't forget to subscribe to Philosophy of Mind for more explorations at the cutting edge of knowledge. The dawn of written communication. Number 20, the Danube script. You've heard of Cuneiform. You've certainly heard of hieroglyphs. But the Danube script? This one has been flying under the radar, a silent enigma from prehistoric Europe. Along the banks of the Danube River, in modern-day Serbia, Bulgaria, and Romania, archaeologists unearthed pottery, stones, and figurines adorned with strange, enigmatic symbols. For decades, experts debated, was this true writing, or merely ancient doodles? Then, AI stepped in. Researchers fed these ancient markings into advanced pattern recognition models. What they discovered was insane, undeniable structure, syntax, and repeated sequences that mimicked genuine language. Some of these markings date back over 7,000 years. If this truly was a writing system, and all signs point to yes, then the Danube script could be the oldest known form of written communication on Earth, predating even the famed Mesopotamian cuneiform and Egyptian hieroglyphs. While we don't yet know exactly what these symbols say, AI has definitively confirmed their intentional, non-random arrangement. The spacing, the symbolic repetition, it was all deliberate. This raises profound questions. Who crafted this complex code while much of the world was still learning to plant crops? And why did this incredibly advanced system vanish without a trace, leaving behind only tantalizing whispers? The silence of the Danube is slowly yielding to the hum of algorithms. Number 19, the Herculaneum scrolls and the Vesuvius challenge. For nearly 2 millennia, the charred papyrus scrolls found in the Roman city of Herculaneum have been a monument to lost knowledge. When Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, it buried this wealthy Roman city in volcanic ash, swallowing a vast library whole. The result? Hundreds of scrolls carbonized into brittle, unreadable charcoal, too fragile to unroll, yet too precious to destroy. They were a silent archive, a library frozen in time. For almost 3 centuries, these Herculaneum scrolls remained an unreadable testament to a vanished intellectual world. But in the spring of 2023, a digital firestorm was lit. The Vesuvius Challenge offered over $1 million to anyone who could use AI to virtually unroll these blackened papyri. Enter Luke Ferreter, a mere 21-year-old student. He used machine learning to spot the first word, porphyras, meaning purple. This single word cracked the seal. Ferreter teamed up with Youssef Nader and Julian Schilliger. By February 2024, their collaborative efforts had decoded over 2,000 Greek letters. The scrolls revealed the voice of Philodemus, an Epicurean philosopher, discussing life's greatest pleasures. This wasn't just a win for AI, it was a resurrection. Voices silenced by fire nearly 2 millennia ago are speaking again, and the world is listening, hungry for every word. Number 18, Akkadian Cuneiform. From the ashes of Italy, we shift to the baked earth of ancient Mesopotamia. The Akkadians, one of the earliest civilizations, left behind a sea of wedge-shaped impressions, over 500,000 clay tablets, most of them unread, scattered across museums worldwide. Why? Because Akkadian, a Semitic language, is brutally difficult to translate, with only a few hundred human experts on Earth capable of deciphering it. In 2023, the game changed. Researchers from Tel Aviv and Ariel University developed an AI model trained on thousands of translated Akkadian texts. Think of it as a Google Translate for a 5,000-year-old language. The results were fast, accurate, and jaw-dropping. Another effort, the AI Cuneiform corpus, processed over 130,000 texts, pulling from vast databases. Even Germany joined the race, with teams using 3D modeling and neural networks to recognize over 21,000 signs from nearly 2,000 tablets. While some might chase myths of magic spells and ancient curses, most of the translations tell very real stories, trade agreements, tax logs, and even parts of the Epic of Gilgamesh. Thanks to AI, the oldest civilization on record just got a whole lot louder, giving us unprecedented access to their daily lives, laws, and literature. Number 17, the Dead Sea Scrolls. You think you know the Dead Sea Scrolls? Think again. Discovered in the 1940s, these ancient texts are older than most modern religions, penned by a group known as the Essenes. One scroll, in particular, the Great Isaiah Scroll, was always believed to be the meticulous work of a single scribe. But then came 2021. AI researchers at the University of Groningen fed thousands of samples of the Hebrew letter Aleph into a model. What did they find? Tiny, almost invisible variations in handwriting that human eyes had missed for decades. Not one scribe, but two. This seemingly small detail changes everything. It suggests the possibility of organized writing teams working in the shadows of the desert. And with AI now able to pick up the emotional shifts in pen pressure and stylistic nuances, we're learning not just what they wrote, but how they felt as they wrote it. Forget the myth of hidden Bible codes. The real story here is one of process, production, and the deeply human touch behind ancient scriptures. Thanks to AI, we're not just reading ancient texts, we're meeting the people behind the pen. Number 16, the Indus script. Journey back to South Asia, and you'll find one of archaeology's great unsolved puzzles, the Indus script. Used by the enigmatic Indus Valley civilization between 2600 and 1900 BCE, it appears on seals, pottery, and tablets. Here's the catch, there's no Rosetta Stone, no translation key, just rows of strange symbols. And a culture that historians repeatedly describe as remarkably peaceful, with no evidence of warfare. Starting in 2009, Professor Rajesh P.N. Rao and his team tried something new. They built a Markov model, a statistical tool that maps sequences, and fed it every known Indus inscription. The patterns it revealed were too organized to be random, the script showed language-like behavior. That alone was groundbreaking. Then came AI. Deep learning models began recognizing recurring structures, and some researchers achieved over 80% accuracy in symbol segmentation. Still, challenges remain. Most inscriptions are incredibly short, and no one knows what underlying language the script was based on. Yet, $1 million prize awaits anyone who cracks it. And with AI closing in, someone might just walk away with both money and history in hand. The silent symbols of a peaceful civilization are finally beginning to stir. Number 15, the Meroitic language. Let's follow the Nile south to a lesser-known kingdom, Meroe. From around 300 BCE to 400 CE, the Meroitic language flourished in what is now Sudan. It boasted two scripts, hieroglyphic for monuments and cursive for daily use. We've known about this language for over a century, but despite its clear alphabet, no one could decode it. No bilingual texts, no dictionary, it was a locked door. Now, researchers at MIT's CSAIL lab are picking the lock. Their algorithms, previously successful with Ugaritic and Linear B, are being retooled for Meroitic. These models don't need direct translation, they detect structural logic, hunting down grammar-like patterns and statistical relationships between symbols. It's still early days, the data is thin, and the inscriptions are short. But AI is chipping away at the silence. With every scan, the odds tilt in favor of discovery. If machines can wake up Nubia's forgotten tongue, just imagine what they'll say when they hit Egypt's deeper mysteries. Number 14, the Proto-Elamite script. East of Mesopotamia, deep in ancient Iran, lies one of the world's oldest writing systems, Proto-Elamite. Dating back to around 3100 BCE, these wedge-like signs were carved onto clay tablets during a time when agriculture and city-states were just blooming. The problem? No one has ever truly cracked the code. For more than a century, linguists stared at these strange symbols like static on a screen. That changed when AI entered the scene. Oxford researcher Dr. Jacob Dahl led efforts using reflectance transformation imaging, RTI, to capture ultra-detailed images of the tablets. These weren't just pretty pictures, they were fuel for neural networks, allowing AI to recognize subtle grooves and glyphs too faint for the human eye. More recently, in 2025, researchers introduced algorithms that focused purely on deciphering the numerical systems, essential for decoding trade and economy records buried in the tablets. The machines picked up patterns in how quantities were recorded, giving scholars context that had been missing for decades. Still, the full script remains a mystery. But now, with every pixel scanned and every symbol classified, Iran's silent tablets are beginning to murmur. Number 13, Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphs. When it comes to ancient writing, Egyptian hieroglyphs need no introduction. Intricate, majestic, everywhere, from colossal temples to delicate papyri. But decoding them, even after the Rosetta Stone, has always been painstakingly slow. Until 2020. That's when Google Arts and Culture teamed up with Macquarie University and others to launch Fabricius, an AI-powered tool that brings ancient Egyptian writing to the digital age. Fabricius doesn't just translate, it teaches. One mode walks users through the basics, another lets them play with the script. But it's the work mode where things get serious. Here, AI uses pattern recognition powered by AutoML to scan and match hieroglyphs with known translations, streamlining what used to take months. Even better, Fabricius connects directly to a cloud-based hieroglyphic database, offering multiple translation options for each symbol and drawing on Gardner's list, a foundational reference for Egyptologists. Sure, it's not perfect, hieroglyphs include everything from sounds to ideas to grammatical clues. But Fabricius is leveling the playing field, making it easier for both scholars and curious minds to step into one of history's most iconic languages. What once took lifetimes now takes seconds. The pyramids haven't moved, but our understanding of what's written inside them just leaped forward. Number 12, Rongorongo. Jump halfway across the world to Easter Island, and you'll find a language that defies logic. Rongorongo, a script discovered in the 1860s, carved into wooden tablets with a bizarre, snaking direction. Terry Hunt, an archaeologist, has been studying them for over 20 years. The script reads left to right, then right to left, like a mirror flipping after each line. Only about 24 tablets survive today. The culture that created them was silenced before the 20th century. No Rosetta Stone, no living speakers, just wooden glyphs and a lot of speculation. For years, debates raged, was it real writing or symbolic doodles? In the 1950s, Budanov and Norizov saw patterns suggesting calendars and family lineages. In the 1990s, Stephen Fisher claimed it told creation myths. Most disagreed. Now AI is stepping in. Researchers are using machine vision to isolate individual glyphs, cataloging them across all surviving samples. These models are trained to detect similarities between Rongorongo and known writing systems, not for direct translation, but to spot potential linguistic traits. It's still far from solved, but for the first time, Rongorongo has digital allies. Wooden tablets that once sat mute on museum shelves now pulse with potential. The past isn't always lost. Sometimes it just needs a better algorithm. Number 11, the Isthmian script. Mesoamerica is a hotbed of ancient writing. You've got Maya glyphs and Zapotec scripts. But what about the Isthmian script? That one's the underdog. Also called Apyolmec, it shows up on artifacts like the Tuxtla statuette and La Mojara stela, dating between 500 BCE and 500 CE. Some believe it's a legitimate writing system, others say it's too limited to count. Scholars like Justison and Kaufman made partial breakthroughs in the 1990s, but their ideas remain debated. So where does AI come in? While no major AI project has targeted Isthmian directly, researchers at MIT's CSAIL lab have built models that can work on scripts just like this, undeciphered, scarce, and ancient. These systems compare how language evolves over time, using evolutionary linguistics to trace possible roots and structures. If applied to Isthmian, these models could analyze symbol order, frequency, and morphology, offering clues about syntax or phonetics. All that's missing is data, more inscriptions, more scans, more context. But the tools are ready. It's only a matter of time before someone gives AI the green light to finish what humans started. The writing's on the stone. It's just waiting to be read. Number 10, Oracle Bone Script. Now, let's rewind to ancient China over 3,000 years ago. During the Shang dynasty, rulers carved symbols onto turtle shells and ox bones, asking questions about war, crops, and fate. These were the Oracle Bone Script, China's oldest known writing. In 2024, a major leap was made. Hai Siguan and his team built OBSD, an AI system based on diffusion models. It didn't just scan these characters, it matched them to modern Chinese equivalents with astonishing precision. The breakthrough came thanks to a massive image library called HustOBC, filled with over 140,000 glyph samples, some known, others still a mystery. The AI was trained on this data, learning to fill in gaps where carvings were damaged or faint. Another tool from Tencent, the Oracle Bones Corpus, gave researchers a user-friendly platform to study bone fragments side by side, finding overlaps and matches in real time. Oracle bones were meant to talk to the future. Ironically, it's the future, through AI, that's finally talking back. The kings of the Shang dynasty might never have imagined their secrets would one day be decoded by code. Number 9, Linear B and Ugaritic. Some ancient mysteries took centuries to crack. Others are falling in ours. Linear B was used in Mycenaean Greece between 1450 and 1200 BCE. It was the earliest form of Greek writing, and for decades, nobody could make sense of it until Michael Ventris, an architect turned linguist, cracked it in 1952. Fast forward to 2019. A team from MIT, including Jiaming Luo and Regina Barzilay, built an AI model to do it faster. Their system translated over 67% of cognates, shared words, between Linear B and Modern Greek. That's not just good, that's groundbreaking. Now look at Ugaritic, an ancient Semitic script from modern-day Syria. In 2010, another MIT team led by Ben Snyder and Kevin Knight created a machine learning model that deciphered Ugaritic by aligning it with Hebrew in mere hours. Both projects used comparative linguistics, AI matching word roots, grammar, and meaning across time and languages. This proves one thing: with the right data, even the most ancient tongues don't stand a chance. AI isn't just catching up to the past. It's outpacing it. Number 8, the Nazca lines. Some writing doesn't use words at all. Just like the Nazca lines. In 2024, a team from Yamagata University in Japan, working with IBM Research, used AI to uncover 303 new geoglyphs in Peru's Nazca Desert. These massive earth drawings, some as small as 10 feet, others stretching hundreds, were created over 2,000 years ago by the Nazca people. Previously, researchers spent nearly a century identifying 430 geoglyphs. With AI, they found over 300 in just 6 months. The key was training image recognition software on aerial photos, teaching it to spot patterns humans missed, often hidden by erosion or subtle changes in terrain. Some depict animals, birds, cats, whales. Others look like people or ceremonial scenes, and many were placed along ancient footpaths, suggesting they were meant to be seen from the ground. The Nazca lines have long been a source of wonder, but much uncertainty remains about their origins and meanings. AI isn't debunking alien theories, but it doesn't make the lines any less mysterious. Why were they made? What did they mean? AI might not answer those questions yet, but it's helping us find the clues a whole lot faster. Even in the most barren landscapes, ancient people left signs. All we needed was a machine to see them. Number 7. Inca Khipus. Sometimes language doesn't look like writing at all. High in the Andes, the Inca didn't leave scrolls, tablets, or carved glyphs. Instead, they left threads. Literally. Known as quipus, these knotted strings were their version of a ledger, a map, and maybe even a storybook. For centuries, we thought they were just counting tools, color-coded cords used to log taxes, livestock, or census numbers. And in some ways, they were. But what if that was just the surface? Enter the new wave of researchers and machines. Anthropologist Sabine Hyland dug into Spanish colonial records and surviving quipus, suggesting they might be more than calculators, perhaps even phonetic, perhaps even narrative. AI has started helping map out the subtle patterns where knots are tied, the spacing, the string placement. Using statistical modeling, algorithms are revealing structures too complex to be random. Could these knots hold syllables? Could they tell the history the Incas never wrote on walls? We're closer than ever to answering that. The Inca spoke through wool and code, and AI might finally be fluent, one thread at a time. Their silence is unraveling. Number 6. The palimpsests. Not all secrets are buried in dirt. Some were buried under other secrets, erased, overwritten, and hidden in plain sight. Enter the palimpsests, ancient manuscripts where the original text was scraped off and replaced with something new. And for centuries, what lay beneath was lost forever. That changed when multispectral imaging and AI joined forces. One legendary example, the Archimedes palimpsest. Beneath a 13th-century prayer book, researchers found lost mathematical writings from the Greek genius himself, unseen for over 1,000 years. In 2021, a team led by Anna Stinska and David Messenger developed a new AI technique. Using deep generative networks, they trained machines to isolate the overwritten layers. The result? Hidden texts became legible again without damaging the original page. This method is now being applied to hundreds of palimpsests, from Byzantine treatises to medieval medical scrolls. While myths talk about magic spells and secret societies, the real power here lies in rediscovered knowledge. Science, philosophy, astronomy. AI didn't just read what was erased, it brought the forgotten back to life. Number 5. Nushu. Deep in the hills of southern China, a hidden language once whispered between generations of women. Nushu, literally women's writing, was invented by Yao women in Hunan province who were denied formal education for centuries. They wrote songs, stories, and sorrows on fans and paper, away from the eyes of men. By the 21st century, Nushu was dying, its last fluent speakers fading. Then came 2025. Dartmouth College launched Nushu Rescue, an AI initiative to revive the script using minimal data. Using only 35 sample pairs, GPT-4 Turbo was trained to translate Nushu into Chinese. It achieved nearly 50% accuracy, a major leap for a script no modern AI had ever seen before. Another project, AI Nushu, simulated how women might have evolved the script across generations. This wasn't just about linguistics, it was cultural preservation. These weren't just letters, they were lifelines, songs of love, grief, and resilience. With AI amplifying their voices, Nushu is no longer a fading whisper. It's becoming a song the world can finally hear, a testament to the enduring power of human connection and expression. Number 4. The Voynich manuscript. Some mysteries don't whisper, they mock. Enter the Voynich manuscript, a 600-year-old book that looks like it came from another world. It's filled with bizarre plants that don't exist, zodiac signs drawn by an unsteady hand, and nude women bathing in cosmic bathtubs. But the real puzzle? The language itself. It's like nothing ever seen before, no known alphabet, no origin, no translation. In 2018, scientists at the University of Alberta ran the manuscript through a custom AI algorithm. Their hunch: it might be scrambled Hebrew, stripped of vowels and syntax. The model claimed that up to 80% of the words had Hebrew equivalents. One sentence even allegedly translated as "she made recommendations to the priest, man of the house, and me and people." But when Hebrew scholars reviewed the output, it unraveled fast. The grammar was off, the meanings were jumbled. Even Google Translate couldn't help. A year later, British scholar Gerard Cheshire dropped another theory: Proto-Romance, a forgotten language used by medieval nuns to write a guide on women's health. Again, scholars raised their eyebrows and their objections. AI has taken its swing. So have humans. Yet, the Voynich manuscript just smiles back with silence. Maybe it's nonsense. Or maybe it's the most well-hidden voice of them all. Number 3, Mayan glyphs. When it comes to visual complexity, Mayan glyphs take the crown. Spirals within spirals, shapes within shapes, a true artistic and linguistic marvel. For centuries, decoding them meant years of visual study and painstaking guesswork. However, a recent project called Artful Algorithms, led by West Virginia University, is rewriting the game. Combining art history and computer science, they trained AI to isolate and classify individual Mayan glyphs from massive databases of scanned stonework. Another project, Segmentation of Maya Hieroglyphs, fine-tuned foundation models to identify and extract glyphs with pixel-level precision. This helped machines distinguish overlapping symbols, critical for understanding compound meanings. These AI breakthroughs are helping finish what linguists like Yuri Norizov began in the 1950s when he cracked the phonetic elements of the script. Now, instead of years, identification takes seconds. Some glyphs speak of gods, others, sacrifices. But most tell stories of everyday life, families, calendars, crop cycles. AI doesn't just read these stories, it gives them back to us, allowing us to connect with the vibrant world of the ancient Maya. Number 2, the Cyprominoan script. Over 2,000 years ago, on the island of Cyprus, a mysterious writing system appeared, the Cyprominoan script. Written between 1550 and 1050 BCE, it has baffled scholars for over a century. Some say it's one script, others say it's 3. Recent studies using unsupervised deep learning suggest a radical possibility: it's all one language. By training algorithms to analyze the visual structure of signs, researchers uncovered consistent rules and stylistic features across all known samples. No translation yet, but structural harmony suggests a unified origin. Even more ambitious was the use of GANs, convolutional generative adversarial networks, to analyze Cyprominoan next to other Bronze Age scripts. The results hinted at potential relationships with Linear A and early Semitic languages. For now, Cyprominoan remains unread. But with machines narrowing the field, a breakthrough feels closer than ever. Cyprus hasn't given up its secrets yet, but AI is asking the right questions, pushing us closer to understanding a pivotal moment in Mediterranean history. Number 1, Etruscan. Tucked in the shadows of Rome, the Etruscans were once the rulers of central Italy. They built cities, temples, and tombs long before Caesar drew breath. But their language? That's still one of Europe's biggest mysteries. We found thousands of inscriptions on urns, mirrors, and monuments, enough to fill volumes, but not enough to read them fluently. Why? Because Etruscan is a language isolate. There are no known relatives, no Rosetta Stone, and only partial translations. That's where artificial intelligence enters the ruins. By feeding neural networks a massive corpus of Etruscan texts, researchers are detecting statistical patterns invisible to the naked eye. AI can flag recurring suffixes, mark potential verb forms, and even suggest meanings based on how words cluster together. It's not guesswork, it's structured linguistic modeling. Machines don't get tired. They don't overlook a stray symbol. And that matters when you're trying to reconstruct grammar from inscriptions carved over 2,000 years ago. The payoff? Immense cultural depth. These aren't just phrases, they're windows into religion, trade, rituals, and identity. For centuries, the Etruscans spoke from the grave with no one to answer back. Now, with every computation, their voice gets clearer. Conclusion: we've journeyed across continents and millennia, from the earliest scripts of the Danube to the enigmatic voices of the Etruscans. What we've witnessed is a revolution. Artificial intelligence is not just a tool, it's a key, unlocking the vast, silent libraries of human history. It's revealing that the past isn't always lost, merely waiting for the right machine to listen. These revelations are profound. They challenge our timelines of civilization, reveal the emotional lives of ancient scribes, rewrite the stories of forgotten cultures, and even force us to reconsider what constitutes writing itself. The terrifying truth, perhaps, isn't a dark secret, but the sheer scale of what we didn't know, and the humbling realization that our understanding of history is constantly evolving. And one thing's for sure, history isn't done talking, and neither are we. As AI continues to advance, we can expect even more astonishing breakthroughs, bringing countless more ancient voices back to life. The dialogue between past and future has just begun. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment with your thoughts on these incredible discoveries, and trust me, it only gets deeper from here. Subscribe to Philosophy of Mind for more explorations into the mysteries of history, consciousness, and the future.